This presentation on the Public Expenditure Management Cycle for district-level planning and budgeting is prepared for the PFM Board video sessions. The Public Expenditure Management Cycle provides a framework approach for implementing programs to improve decentralized service delivery and build the capacities of institutions and staff to perform their functions in a more efficient and effective manner. It represents a holistic approach to defining the needs and priorities for implementing donor programs in the transition countries. By examining the whole public expenditure management cycle steps, activities, and outputs, an integrated approach can be developed. The public expenditure management cycle is based on the traditional steps of the planning, budgeting, and monitoring and evaluation phases. This is a common approach across many countries in development programs. However, the specific activities and outputs will be modified to the particular legal, institutional, political, and cultural environments within a country and the purposes of this public expenditure management system. The public expenditure management cycle described in this presentation is based on the model developed by UNDP Somalia and represents the main steps of the public expenditure management cycle tailored to the specific conditions within Somalia and the donor program capacity building objectives. It is focused on a program at the district level of government. The value of using the PEM cycle is that it represents the multi-year processes that the planning, budget preparation, execution, and monitoring and evaluation steps that are underway simultaneously at any point in time of the cycle. The cycle thus represents the complicated and overlapping processes that governmental institutions are involved in over the duration of several fiscal years. The PEM cycle is typically represented by a 5-step process, but this may be modified based on the national level planning and budgeting system. The national level planning and budgeting system should drive the public expenditure management cycle and incorporate the methods within such processes as MTEF and other methods of planning and budgeting. The following diagrams present the main steps, activities, and outputs of a 5-step process developed for the UNDP Somalia program. Step 1 of the PEM cycle should be a very participatory activity that allows for the identification of problems, needs, and priorities from the lowest level of the government system and citizens most directly affected by the problems and needs. The starting point for this step should be the issuance of some guidance and priorities from the national level, such as through budget circulars, public investment program, and poverty reduction strategies, to frame the overall national level priorities and resources available. Based on this guidance, the district level officials can incorporate these priorities into more specific needs and programs for consideration at the sub-district, village, and community consultation processes. An important and critical activity in this step 1 is the development of a district profile and mapping of services that reveal the social, economic, service, and infrastructure needs. This is a very technical activity and requires substantial effort by district level staff to prepare. It should use all available statistical data and be based on methods such as geographic information system or other mapping methods. This activity should reveal specific needs and service delivery gaps for education, health, economic, and infrastructure weaknesses. This mapping serves as the basis for the important village and community consultations that will identify specific projects that will be considered and incorporated into the Step 1 output, a district development framework for the next 5 years. While Step 1 provides the basis for developing the expenditure side of the planning and budgeting process, Step 2 focuses on the identification of the resources to match the expenditure needs. The national level budget guidance issued through budget circulars or other means will provide the overall estimates of the resources available. There will generally be 3 main components to the district level financial resources that need to be examined and forecasted to prepare the overall district budget. These are the own source revenues of the district level, the conditional and unconditional grants or transfers from the central level ministries, and the available external resources which may come from donor-funded programs and services. These three components need to be carefully and prudently forecasted to make realistic estimates of the resources available to meet the expenditure needs. Once these financial resources are identified and estimated, the total and mix of resources can be compared to the prioritized projects and needs developed from the Step 1 participatory process. This forms the basis for the district budgets that will be approved by the district council and prepare the basis for the implementation of the district development framework. Step 3 will formalize the district council approved budget into an investment program for the next 3 years and accompanying annual work plans and budget. This investment program will incorporate the priority projects selected during budget approval process and plan their implementation over the 3-year period. This investment plan, along with the annual work plan and budget, requires further consultation with the affected village and community levels. This will ensure commitment from these stakeholders at the citizen level and their support and cooperation for implementation of the investments and services. At this point, community monitoring groups can be established to monitor the progress of implementation. Once all the validation and consultations have been completed, the annual work plan and budget is approved and ready for public dissemination to inform citizens of what is planned to be accomplished. At this stage, the individual investment projects can be implemented with technical and engineering studies such as feasibility and cost-benefit analysis. Step 4 represents the actual stage of budget execution of the prioritized projects and service delivery programs. Many of the activities in the step require technical capabilities that may be lacking at the district government level. Support will be needed for these activities in areas of technical design, environmental and social impact screening of projects, costing of projects, development of operation and maintenance plans, and procurement processes. It is important and critical during this step to continue to consult and utilize the community monitoring groups to oversee the implementation of the project to the required specifications and requirements. This monitoring should also include the review of financial reports to ensure that the project will be within the financial resources available and that there is transparency and accountability in the completion of the project. Step 5 brings the PEM cycle to its conclusion with a review of the accomplishments of the annual work plan and budget to what was approved. The main activities of this step will be reports from the community monitoring groups on how well the project was implemented and the results of the project on the community needs for services. All community level project achievements need to be incorporated into the district development framework to show the project progress on a district-wide basis. In addition, the completion of internal and external performance and financial audits should be completed once the project is finished. At this time, the use of value for money audits are appropriate. Once all reporting and monitoring reviews are completed and the project has been satisfactorily finished, the completed investment can be incorporated into the asset management database, be identified in subsequent district profile features, and included in other MIS sources on projects, maintenance, and training needs and requirements. This final diagram represents the entire PEM cycle as it was developed for the UNDP Somalia Joint Program on Local Government Decentralization and Service Delivery. It illustrates the steps, activities, and outputs of the PEM cycle. It is important to emphasize again that this illustrates one model of the PEM cycle and will be adjusted and modified to meet specific conditions and environments. Focusing on the PEM cycle as a framework for designing development programs can ensure a more comprehensive and integrated approach to improving the delivery of services in a decentralized environment with limited financial and human resources.